Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Might Magic Clash of Heroes. So, we're gonna look at the uh, DLC that I'm gonna just go ahead and made it immediately say it's probably not worth it, but the I Am the Boss DLC is where you can play as the boss. So you get 5 characters that you can use in quick play, and maybe you could have used it online if anybody was playing online. There's are right now about 3 people online, so it'd be silly to even try. Uh, and then after we do these 5 characters, I'm gonna play as all the secondary characters like Varkas, Jezebel, Findon, Marco, and Cyrus. So I could just read what his ability is. That's probably the only thing that's gonna be different. Uh, Carlisle here has the Bio Blast, which who was the boss against the um I don't even know if there was a boss. Like, there must not have been a boss in the elf story because I'm not seeing it. Hmm. No, it was Varkas himself. Varkas was who you had to defeat, or it's some Holy Griffin Empire character. Anyways, Carlo has transforms random enemies into food. On the following turn, he consumes each piece of the food and spits them back at the enemy as a blasted bile. So much like the boss battle, everything is at 5, one would assume, so 3, 3, 3, 11 for 3 turns, and 3 toughness, 9 for that, or 8 for 2 turns. Hmm. I think what you want is archers, and then we'll take sword masters and knights, and then since we are going to use artifacts, you could play without those, and that would add an extra level of ability. Hmm. But if I'm playing as the boss, I have to wonder, am I going to have any units? I guess I am. So instead of like just playing as a giant version of Carlisle, like we fought, it's just I have the Bioblast ability. So that's a little dull. Let's see. That one in 4 turns. And that one right there. I should probably just play this up to the point where I can use the ability and then call it quits. Also, it's not really worth the time management to go through the full battle. I want to get this series done in this recording, and it could go a little long. We're talking potentially 10 battles in 1 hour. That seems unrealistic when each battle was taking about 14 minutes. Let's see. So I just need to do damage to get that bile attack. I know what it's gonna do, I just wanna double check to see if make sure it works the way I think it's gonna work. Man, that charge up is slow. Launch that one. Launch that one. That one. We're halfway to the Bile Blast. With 100 health, I could probably take a decent amount of damage. I probably shouldn't have built the walls. It's counterintuitive to my purpose. Here. Let's see. That one. Refill. Fill that. Didn't have enough moves to chain anything. So who's gonna win versus the Sword Master or the Griffin? Oops. Hmm. 97 damage. Big explosive damage. This is gonna take too long, isn't it? Yes, so I should just let him attack me. Yeah, that's gonna be our new strategy going forward, just the fastest thing to attack me. So eat all those to make sure I take enough damage in 2 turns. Of course, I also want to survive for the next turn. So, in the turn there. Yeah, I don't know what I was really expecting from the I Am the Boss DLC, really. Just super powerful spells and to play as the boss. My thinking is, if the campaign was a short experience, much more streamlined than what it was, it was probably about 30 hours at most. But if they got it down to like a 10-hour experience, and you could play as each of the 10 characters, the 5 that you do play as, throughout the whole game, and then their companions that just get unlocked for multiplayer. Do I have enough? No, I don't. Well, in the turn again, I suppose. Like, so if you just picked one character, played for 10 hours, then you could go for a New Game Plus and play a different character for 10 hours. That would make this I Am the Boss DLC make sense, because then you could play as the bad guy, have the bad guy fighting the bad guy and all that. So So I'm just gonna go ahead and refill my guys, cast this, which is going to do the Bile Blast, which turns a lot of things in the matches. Look, the 3 hot dogs there should turn into a wall, but they won't. I bet they don't. Turns a lot of things into what's it called? Food, which he eats, and then we'll see what happens now. He's at 82 health now. Let's see what happens. So off screen he eats those things. He files the bile, and at the end that did 68. So that's all we kinda needed to see. So quick battle, artifacts on, although that's probably pointless too. So if that's Carlisle, next one is a Zexus. Conjures a 2-column width portal in his end zone for 1 turn. Enemy attacks that enter the portal will launch back at the enemy hero. Enemy on the next turn with 50% of the attack. I think we'll just go ahead and start a little bit faster, and we should just take the item that would revive. Interesting, Jezebeth isn't even using a 5th character, and is using some artifact that I don't recognize. Alright. So combos will get my magic going a little bit. So if I can get chains, that is ideal. So I'm trying to just get more chains. In 4 turns I want this. Like, I can't delete that, so I shouldn't have started it. I should have let that one hit me. I wish there was a practice mode. It wouldn't have been too difficult to just have a default scenario with my magic already charged up. So both want to accept and cause damage and do chains. So that's 3 different things. That, and that one, and then that's wrong. And now I just eat these 3. 23, 6. Man, those things are so weak. Did not realize how weak the succubuses were. So I have to just sit there. In the turn. So what I need to do is just end my turn for 3 turns, I suppose. Well, actually, I could do it 1. So this. Now use the magic spell for the demonic portal, which is right here in the middle, and place it there, and then end the turn. It's a tiny little portal, isn't it? He goes through the portal, and if it stayed for a couple of turns, it would make sense. But it just stays for like 1. Yeah, not only is that pointless, it's annoyingly small. I thought it would be like 4 wide. Yeah. So far we are 2-0. We won't even bother with. We'll keep the artifacts on actually, just in case. With the DLC, I don't see any reason why you would particularly want to play as these. There might be some online strategy that makes sense, but right now it doesn't seem like it. Again, there's just 10 items. So what Ludmilla's ability was something about a ball of spiders. Let's see. I'm trying to get as many combos going as possible. Like, suppose if I make let's see. This one's gonna attack in 2 turns, so we'll get rid of that. I wish you got magic for deleting enemies, deleting your troops. That might be a different balance to the game that would put a different spin on it. And we'll just start taking these out. Yeah, next turn won't kill me, but I should have read the instructions on what it was gonna do before. There we go. Actually, the I am the boss stuff and playing as the other characters stuff should have just shown up in the sequel. Let's see what this does now. Spider swarm apparently allows me to place a ball of spiders. Yeah, that did quite a massive amount of damage. Yeah, I can see why this would be an advantage to play as her. Quick battle. Artifacts still on. And so our final boss is the Palm Blast from Azrafir. You don't get to choose who you're gonna battle against. So let's see. No, I don't want the mana shield. I want the revival ring. If I use the mana shield, then I wouldn't ever be able to use the spell. It seems like Jezebeth picks the same item every time. I bet there's not a lot of logic in it. It's probably pretty pre-programmed. Let's see. This one right there. And then that one right there. And then that one right there. Now I need to find which one's gonna attack first. That's gonna be this row, so let's get rid of it, everything that would stop that row. I don't know how you would write a story so you could play as the bad guy, though. You'd have to do a lot better story writing than what this game showed itself capable of or willing to do. I guess capability is something I really am not equipped to judge because I don't know the people that wrote it. I'd have to compare some of the other works of the game writer, producer, developer, directors, and since I don't have that level of expertise, capability is the wrong term, but I can say that the story they chose to write was not anywhere as complicated or intricate enough that they would need to write for a sequel to involve you playing as the bad guy and not feel kind of bad about the fact that you're playing as the bad guy. And I don't want, particularly in kids games, I don't want to feel like I'm the bad guy, usually. Every now and then there's the funny bad guy style games where you are wreaking havoc and enjoying it. Well, I almost died there. When you play as the boss, you also don't have their massive amount of health either, because Lord Bloodcrown had like 400 health. So I'm gonna refill and then use the hand blast, the palm blast. And you don't get to pick. Alright. So that's what the palm blast does. So that's the I Am the Boss DLC. If we go over here to online and we made a custom match. No, online host, 2-on-2, artifacts, start game, and then put myself in a slot. Can I play as the boss? Yes, I can. So you can do it online also. So you would, by buying the DLC, you would have had a slight advantage over some players, maybe. Let's look at the companions that I can also play online. So Varkas here has Holy Charge. All charging formations are infused with Holy Charge and receive 30% boost to their total power. That's going to be a hard one to play with. I guess what I would want to do is just this. And he is using the same 10 items as Godric would. So this is a weird position to be in. I need combinations to get the magic, to use the magic. But then to get the combinations, I'm going to more than likely need to clear a path and take some damage. And by clearing the path, that means I'll need to refill and make new combinations, and it's a circular logic problem. It's going to require doing several things. I could also do damage to... Let's see, this guy's going first, so we'll clear that path. See, that's not enough damage. Slowly we're trying to do everything. Of course, I also am a little worried that this guy might, at 35, might just beat me. So I'm gonna put 1, 2 there and hope that's right. Because this guy's gonna do 35 damage in the first attack. And then that, that, that. Alright. So now, my spell won't really do anything. I've got to get units going. This should get me 3 charging units. This one, this one, this one. Refill. Do I have anything else I can charge? No. Let's see what this spell's gonna do. 4, 4, 4. Spell of Holy Charge. Gives them all 5. That doesn't feel like that's very useful. Maybe that's because my charging units are like a little low, and it would have been better to use Holy Charge on an angel or something. Because now they're just up to 8, and yeah, I'm just confused. Let's make 1 charge here and see what happens there. So, is something special going to happen when these guys attack. They do 10 damage. Well, instead of being 8 on the second turn, this one's 6. And so it goes from probably 6 to 8 in its final attack. Not super useful, that Holy Charge ability. Let's compare just quickly. We'll keep looking at artifacts and we'll use them. So Godric's Shield was the one that would take no damage, worth 50% of your max HP, so you couldn't lose until you did over half of your max HP, which would be 50 damage if you have 100 HP. Any power remaining is then doubled and launched across your thing. Edric's Shield is way better than Holy Charge. All charging formations are infused with the Holy Charge and receive a 30% boost to their total power. So you would want to wait. The best way to use the Holy Charge would be to wait till the very end, until everybody's about to attack, then use it and get a 30% increase. Aiden has the Fiery Brimstone ability, where walls on the hero's battlefield instantly turn into fire and launch at the enemy. I wish it would tell you the numbers though. It's like a 1 strength wall does 1 damage, a 2 strength wall does this damage. And Jezebeth uses Wall Crusher. Enemy walls explode, damaging units directly above and beside them. So it's the opposite of the Brimstone one. Interesting. So we'll again just end our turn and do the Revive Flame. So I kept thinking she was using a different spell, but she is using a different spell. I was thinking she was using a different artifact. So playing against this guy is actually probably going to work out rather well. Chain that one. Trying to get as much magic as quickly as possible. I'm hoping what he'll do is make some really good walls. Exactly. That's everything I could have wanted. Okay, so now it's time to start eating our own walls and taking some damage. I needed him to attack, and he hasn't done it. Don't make me wait 6 turns and then lose. I'll have to keep that in consideration. Too. The angel is powerful enough, he might defeat me in one attack. Eat that one, eat that one, eat that one, eat that one. We might as well go for a completely empty field, because that would be funny. Why not? That's the type of thing that is a goofy type achievement style thing. Is have no characters on the field at all. No characters or walls. I'm an open book. There we go. Now before I do the Wall Crusher, I just want to make sure I am doing the right thing. So I'm gonna put a couple of walls here of my own. And then use the spell. It should explode his walls. Yeah, and it did, I think, some damage to the characters around him. Not very useful. All of these secondary characters are proving themselves to be kind of pointless thoughts, things they probably played around with and then decided wasn't worth. Next one we have the Swift Strike, reduces the charge time of all formations down to 1 on Finland. Now that, on the other hand, might be an amazing thing. So I'm gonna do a little bit of setup, hit ready, and then Ring of Life, and then hit ready. We're gonna be playing against Carlisle. I assume you couldn't play against Carlisle and the new abilities if you didn't have the DLC too, but in a lot of ways the DLC is nothing but a tricky way to get some money out of you, isn't it? So I need to do some combos and take charge up. And his ability might come into play if I'm not careful. So this priestess might also destroy my thing. Is no one else going to attack? This isn't gonna work out well. Well, the priestess there will attack in 4 turns. I did 1 damage. Chain that. So the priestess isn't going to hit the tree. Maybe the tree will do enough damage to charge me up. Otherwise I'm gonna have to wait 3 turns for this other priestess to happen. Which I guess that's what I need to do. Maybe I should also just eat some stuff. I'm just leaving everything alone. I'm hoping between my Trent attack and this priest attack, I get enough. If I don't, the next thing that potentially is going to hit me would be this column and this column. But I kind of need to defend against the angel attack, because if the angel attack doesn't work, it's still not enough. So attack Trent with 85. There we go. Now I have to refill everything. Place this. And play this. This Bile Blast is messed up a lot of things there. Alright. This. Move that over there. Move that over there. Move that one there. I need something with a charge. Yeah, if this angel thing doesn't happen, oh man, I need something. I was hoping something would happen here, but alright. So we don't have time, unfortunately, to activate this quite exactly the way it should be. So I'm going to take this one and this one. And that's a 2-turn, and then use the spell, and that should reduce everything down to a 1, right? So next turn, max HP. It doesn't make a lot of sense to use this ability for this guy, but imagine this Trent instead had been charged and then turned to the max HP. That would have made a lot more sense. Let's go ahead and end our turn and see if its attack changes any. I don't believe it will. Yep, like most DLC, the I Am the Boss DLC, the extra characters that technically aren't DLC, they're just added on. Yeah, didn't look like there was any real difference there. Add-on stuff, whether you have to pay through it for DLC or whether it's just thrown in because you pre-ordered or just thrown in because they made it, it never really is worth the effort. So we have 2 more characters, Merkel and Cyrus. Marco, the hero, can instantly charge all of their elite and champion units currently on the battlefield. Death March. So play the Wraith and play the Dragons. And then play the Reapers. And then Book of the Dead. In case I need it. Haven't had to use any of these revive options yet, but so instantly charge the Reaper guys. That would be amazingly helpful. How many combos can I get? I'm not certain which one he's gonna attack with. And now, I could be wrong on my interpretation of the spell. It could mean that they have to already be out of their idling state. If that's the case, then my casting this spell won't work. Move that over there, refill. So I should, now that I have 2, I should charge 1 and leave the other one alone. also need to take damage. Or do damage, one or the other. Right. That. Go ahead and take this one out and then refill, take these out, and then take that one out. Now the danger, I guess right now, is I could potentially win the game. The Reaper in 4 turns could just automatically hit the enemy. Alright. So I'm gonna move this over here. And I'm hoping that this guy does enough damage. Almost. So this and this, I'm hoping this combo is enough. Yeah. So this guy's gonna be at 1. The spell will either have him attack immediately, or do nothing, or have this guy charged. Either way, I guess. There's no reason to recall, so let's hit this and see what happens. Death March. Okay. So it doesn't change that one at all. Alright, that's good to know. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and refill and just take this victory because why not? Let's see. We're gonna run just about an hour here looking at the it's really bad DLC. No explanation, no story, nothing. Like almost certainly this Reaper's gonna win. Unless there's some reason that this is 55 defense. I don't like this animation, by the way, too. The hands coming up from the ground doesn't really connect. Oh, she must have the revive ring. Yeah, I don't even think it's worth continuing to play this. Yeah, the enemy is lost, but a revive ring gave her another 2 health. In the turn. I figure we might as well show that I actually will play one level here, since we've been skipping out of all the others. There's so little here for this extra element that there's nothing even really to say. Okay. There was 10 extra characters you can play in single player or online. But there's nobody online, so that changes that aspect of the game completely, making it pointless. You can't... I wish there was like some mod or hack where you could play as the bad guys and the secondary characters, the friends. That seems like it should have been in the game. So I can like use Death March to start the dragon up again. I don't know if this Death March ability really is that useful. You still have to go through the rest of the effort. You have to keep it alive, and I guess it probably, for a long game, if you're playing for strategy and don't want a quick victory. There we go. And that leaves us with just Cyrus now to play as, and quick matches just brings you back to the beginning. So if this was a cell phone game, you could potentially play this forever. I didn't look at what his item was. So I'm gonna play as Phoenix and Titans, and then hit ready. Yeah, I could see doing it. I just don't understand why you'd want to do that. Why you'd want to play this game. There's no motivation. I would be willing to accept like daily rewards and opening infinite leveling up of the characters where they just do more and more damage. And every time you level up, the enemy levels up a little bit less. So I don't know what his ability does at all. I didn't read it. Therefore, my best bet, I imagine, is to do something, get as much magic going as I can. I think it's just gonna fire an explosive rod in the playfield, which was an item or ability I think you could have done somewhere else. It seems familiar. This one, and that one. I have to play somewhat carefully to make sure the Reaper doesn't attack me. So that's also something I need to do. So there. The opponent has everything on the field that I imagine you would need. I doubt somebody's special spell ability would only defeat or destroy like elite units. So even if I do get rid of the Reaper here, that's not going to make my magical ability do nothing. There we go. And I'm gonna just eat that one and eat that one. Start taking damage. in the turn. Yep. Nothing super surprising. What could you do to this to make it super surprising? Just keep adding characters. That's the thing. I played a game that's much like Puzzle and Dragons called Tower of Saviors on a cell phone for probably a year and a half. I played this game, very loosely played it. Really didn't do much all day other than get the daily login bonus, which is something you might put in a game like this, and get friend points by friending random people online and using those friend points to get more characters. And so there was a certain number of characters that you're just trying to... Oh man, I think I just wolfed one. Darn it. Darn it, darn it. So, staff damages units when it's hit, stays on battlefield for 2 turns and explodes. Let's try that again. So we don't need any of these guys, so we'll just start the turn here and get the revive ring. And accidental victory there. And so Tower of Savers is like Puzzle and Dragons. You make 3 matches, and then that gives you a certain color power to certain color characters that you have. So you would have this row at the top of your hero units that would get powered up by matching certain color balls, squares, gems, whatever. And I barely even played it, but boy did I play a lot of it in the same sense. I was rather bored of the game just after playing it for a year, but it did keep me coming back every time, and that's the thing that you would need in a game like this if you were to make it a cell phone game. Clash of Clans is a more recent game that's sort of like that, but has like all the worst elements of those motivators. Where Tower of Saviors, you could buy things, you never really felt like you had to. I was, compared to other players, a way lower level than a lot of players, but I never felt like if I spent $20 or $100 or $200 or even $1,000 on that I would be much better off than where I was. I would have been much better off if I actually played the game, but it was just a game that I love to have on my phone, and the only thing that finally got me to stop playing it is my cell phone broke, and I got a new cell phone, and it didn't copy over the save file. So I lost all the progress of a year and a half, and certainly not going to go through that mess again. Clash of Clans, on example, is actually a very boring game that's designed to just make you frustrated and spend money. I like the fact that it has a very fast gameplay element. Instead of spending 5 minutes or 12 minutes playing a battle against people online, it's at most, I think, 3-4 minutes is the Clash of Clans battle. But it's gonna run out of steam rather quickly, and they've already had to patch and add characters and things, and that's what a game like this would want, is just here's a new character that you can unlock for this class. Here, I don't want to lose, but I need that magic, so come on, fill it up. I'm hoping next turn there's enough. Yeah, Clash of Clans could be a rather good game if it was just not so greedy. But as it stands, it's not. It's awful, and soon uninstall it, even though I'm rather far along towards the maximums. They'll just push the maximums up a little bit more before I reach it, and before most players reach it. Uh, I bet a lot of players don't even realize that there are maximums as far as how much upgrades you can have. The Clash of Clans also has a problem about being only online, where Tower of Saviors is not an online. It is an online game, but it's not a player versus player experience usually. So, playing only against other players is annoying, and doesn't have a lot of variety. Alright, so I've got the spell back to Clash of Heroes here instead of Clash of Clans. We're going to cast this here, Staff of Explosia, and fires right into it and takes out the first 2 rows, I guess. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and refill and not die. Match that one in there. Match that one there. I don't think the Staff of Explosion is actually really going to be worth it. We're going to get the best outcome possible here. It's completely surrounded around by characters that will die in 1 damage. Maybe if it was surrounded by other characters that were charging instead of idle characters, it would do something. It's a pretty big explosion. I will grant it that, but even if it is amazing, it doesn't matter. It's a dumb DLC. It really is. I would not get it. Sorry, but with the fact that nobody is going to play this online, and you don't have, like, I believe, let's see, I don't think if you go to multiplayer there's like a way to do like check invite. Maybe you could make a custom match and invite friends. Let's see. Invite only, yeah. So yeah, you could play against other people that are your friends if you could get 4 friends of yours to be online at the same time and do that, but in reality multiplayer is dead, so that whole section needs to be thrown out of the evaluation of getting this game. Quick battling is fine but kind of pointless, and because you can't use these extra characters that you can use in quick battle as in the campaign, the extra characters both that you unlock through beating the campaign and the DLC with the 5 extra characters are all pointless too. Pointless, pointless, pointless. That's what I keep saying because sadly it's just the truth. Yep. That's a shame. I would have much preferred more story DLC instead. I would have, if it gave me another 10 hours of the campaign with 10 battles or puzzle battles, a daily puzzle battle on this thing or a weekly puzzle battle on this thing would have been really interesting. Things that you would see in like Hearthstone or Magic, Magic the Gathering, things that bring you back to play it every day, every week. Those are the elements that really needed to be in this game to make it have some lasting force. It's very strange that a strategy puzzle game is at its best just this campaign and that's it. But overall, I still like Might Magic Clash of Heroes. I think it's worth going through the campaign. Take your time on it. Don't rush through it because there's not a lot there. But yeah, it's totally worth playing. And anywho, that's gonna be it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out, tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you want to support me even further than that, you can click on my name Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. You can click that and make a donation. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab. You can click that and see a playlist for every game I've ever covered. I'm sure there's something else there that will interest you. Then down below in the description box I have links to all my social media sites. Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Google+. You can also friend me on Steam and Battle.net. I think I missed one there. Facebook. I want to say Friendster, but I'm not on Friendster. I don't even... Yeah. Uh, so, yeah, bunch of links down there. Follow and friend me on there. That lets you know when my newest videos are out. It also helps me with those services. Thank you for watching this series. Thank you for watching any of my videos. And have a good evening. Bye.